This is a jigsaw, ladies and gentlemen. It is designed for us to cut lines that are not straight. So if you use a jigsaw and your line comes out wobbly, you're doing it right. It's got a trigger right here, and when you pull the trigger, that's how you start the drill. With the jigsaw, normally the blade is going to be straight up and down. If for any reason you want to make a bevel cut, there is a lever back here. We move it in a clockwise position. That allows us to now set the jigsaw so that it is off of our vertical to create a bevel cut in whatever we're doing. More often than not, you will not need to do that. It is just a fun feature that I wanted you all to see. As always, when we're using power tools, please don't forget your hearing protection. We have earmuffs and we have earplugs. For our fan boat project, we're going to cut this circle out of a piece of luan. Luan is very thin wood. So in order to hold our cutting wood target in place, we're going to use some spring-loaded clips, sometimes referred to as ratchet clips. Oftentimes, just one clip is enough. We do this to free up both of our hands so that one hand can hold the material, because what you'll notice is as we start cutting, this material is going to want to vibrate up and down really fast. So we'll use one hand to steady the material, and we'll use our other hand to manipulate the saw, and we keep both of our hands 180 degrees apart as we go around and cut out the circle. I'll show you what that looks like. As we're preparing to make our cut with the jigsaw, always keep the cord out of your way. You never want your cord in the way of your cutting target area. So always check and make sure your cord is out of the way. With the jigsaw, our jigsaws are what we refer to as variable speeds. So if I squeeze the trigger just a little bit, the blade will move very slowly. The more I squeeze the trigger, the faster the blade moves. So for most of our cuts, you'll want the blade moving at maximum speed. So you'll want to pull the trigger, wait about a second for the blade to go at its maximum velocity, and then you can start making your cut. And again, we are going to hold the wood 180 degrees away from the saw. There may come a time where you need to stop and reposition either the cord or the saw in order to complete your cut. Other times, we may need to reposition the entire cutting surface. That's okay. Just make sure you stop the saw, put it down somewhere safe, and then adjust whatever you need to adjust. Let's continue making our cut. As always, we want to keep our hands on the other side of this circle. We're going to pull the trigger, let the blade come up to speed, and then we're going to continue making our cut. In order to cut out this portion of the circle, first I'm going to remove this portion of wood. I'm going to make a straight cut, or basically straight cut, from here to here, just to get this extra wood out of our way. In many situations, the wood outside of our target is disposable. Please feel free to cut that wood away if it makes your using the jigsaw safer because you don't have extra material to work around. Now I'm going to use the jigsaw with my left hand and make the cut from the other direction. If for any reason you're not comfortable with that, come get Miss Morgan or myself and we'll show you how to reposition your target so that you can maintain cutting with your right hand. That did not go the way I wanted it to. I didn't cut myself. So what we're going to do now is we're going to reposition our cutting target so that we can cut off the rest of our circle. We've put some of our target over the table, and that is to help with the vibration. Now I can use my right hand to hold this against the table and my left hand to manipulate the jigsaw. Towards the end, when you've got just a little piece left to cut off, I like to make a cut right here, and then I like to secure the circle to the table. This is something that I found just helps keep the material a lot more steady. So now this is what we have left. By squeezing this portion of the clamp, it releases the clamp so it can move freely and you can remove the clamp from the table. So now we secure the circle to the table and we just kind of do a check to see, do we have enough room to get the jigsaw where we need the jigsaw? And we don't. So I'm going to loosen the clamp and move it so that just this portion of the circle is clamped to the table. Now I'm not going to use my left hand, but I am going to remove this excess piece of wood. Now I am going to continue my cut. When we lay down a jigsaw, we wait for the blade to completely stop moving. Once the blade is done moving, we lay it down on its side with the blade not touching the table. For many people who are new to using a jigsaw, It is a very different tool than most of you have used before. It is okay for you to go slow because it's scary. That is fine. If you need help by just someone to reassure you that you're doing it right, please come get Miss Morgan or myself, and we'll be happy to talk you through it and double check what you're doing. Because for a lot of you, the jig saw will be the tool that makes you the most nervous. And that's okay. We're here to help.